लर्निंग इतना सीखो कि जिसको आप पसंद कर रहे हो ना वो आपका जीवन साथी बन जाए. Episode we cover how do you define success? What is the biggest challenge which people face? How do you keep yourself motivated in this negativity on social media? What is that one single advice for somebody who is just getting started out in business world? And right at the end, we're going to be discussing about one of the most largest and historic events of India with respect to growth, business, coach, mindset, and a lot of other parameters in our life, where Sunil Shetty is coming, where Gaur Gopal Das is coming, where Deepak Chopra is coming, where a lot of other people are going to be getting together under one roof for a couple of days in the month of December 2022. More on that right at the end. Please stay tuned. Enjoy the episode. Shivangi Desai.
Hi.
Shivangi, welcome. This is probably my first ever time that I would be asking questions to somebody, and then I have to make sure of the conscious effort that once I ask a question, I have to keep quiet.
Which people don't want.
So I am super excited for this journey and the first ever episode of Marketing Your Business in the Now. And to the audience, please tell Shivangi that who was Shivangi when she was 6-year-old? Who was Shivangi when maybe she was in 9th standard, and if she was drawing or painting, did she get 10 on 10 marks? Or who Shivangi is right now when she is behind this Fit Bharat mission, that drive towards you helping people with their health and then wealth as well. So who Shivangi authentically is.
Right. So talking about who Shivangi was first, I was always a shy girl. I was an introvert and I was a Gujarati medium student, so I didn't know how to speak in English, and that's the reason I was always afraid of talking to strangers. Forget about strangers, I was even afraid of talking to known people. So to give you a simple example, when I was in college, I used to spend my break time in washrooms. Why? Because our washroom was quite big. I was in HL college in Gujarat, one of the best colleges. Fortunately, unfortunately, people there were really rich. In terms of culture, in terms of looks, in terms of everything. And I was a middle class girl and I was not so good looking, and I was very afraid of talking to them, that too in English. So at that time, I was in my washroom with one of my friends who was like me, shy, and we were reading books. So we were not just reading books, we were actually avoiding talking to
each other.
Yeah. To the people who were speaking in English, and they were making us, maybe we were intimidated by them.
I know how that Gujarati English medium.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Yes. So वो जब हुआ ना, तब I was like, यार ये चलेगा नहीं. So I started attending classes of public speaking, communication. I wanted to learn how people who are so confident and so successful, what do they do? And I wanted to learn. So I started reading, I started studying about it. I attended a lot of programs. And that's how I thought that, I can also be more confident. I can also do something where I can contribute to people's lives. Yeah. I was born with a disease called thalassemia minor.
Okay.
So when I was in school and college, I had a lot of health issues. I was suffering from digestive issues, skin issues, name it. Like in my blood report, you would see, Pratik, you would see almost every parameter was below average. It was very bad. Vitamin D से लेकर सब कुछ बहुत कम था. Thalassemia minor ऐसी बीमारी है where your hemoglobin is naturally very down. और आपका 7-8, मेरा 7-8 के आसपास रहता था, and I was very dull. चेहरा डल लगेगा आपका. You are not allowed to lift heavy things, not give stress to body. ऐसा सब था. So when that was there, I was like, okay, I visited a lot of doctors. I don't want to live my life like this with low stamina, low energy. तो डॉक्टर से बताया कि आपका हीमोग्लोबिन ऊपर से नीचे कूदोगे तो भी 10 से ज़्यादा नहीं हो सकता है. एंड आई वाज लाइक, ओके, अब तो मुझे मिशन उठाना पड़ेगा. सो आई टुक अप द मिशन कॉल्ड मिशन हीमोग्लोबिन. और जब मैंने वो मिशन उठाया, स्टार्टेड स्टडिंग ऑन हेल्थ, अप्लाइड एवरीथिंग ऑन माई सेल्फ. टू कट द स्टोरी शॉर्ट, मेरा हीमोग्लोबिन जो 10 से ऊपर नहीं जा सकता था, ऐसा डॉक्टर ने कहा था. दे वर नॉट रॉन्ग, दे वर टेलिंग द फैक्ट, बट आई वॉन्टेड टू मेक द इम्पॉसिबल पॉसिबल. टू कट द स्टोरी शॉर्ट, विद इन 1.5 year मेरा हीमोग्लोबिन आ गया था 14.2. एंड जब वो हुआ, जो अभी शायद आपको रिएक्शन आया वैसा मेरा रिएक्शन था कि वाओ, आई मीन दैट्स अमेजिंग. आई स्टार्टेड डूइंग डिफरेंट एडवेंचरस एक्टिविटीज़. मैंने अलग अलग कंट्रीज़ में जाना शुरू किया, ट्रैकिंग करना शुरू किया. 15-16 कंट्री में ऐसे एडवेंचर जो शायद मेल के लिए मुश्किल हो. आई बिकेम अ स्काई डाइवर एंड आई थॉट कि अगर मैं कर सकती हूँ तो सब कर सकते हैं, तो क्यों मैं नॉलेज अपने तक रखूँ. सो आई स्टार्टेड अ मिशन कॉल्ड फिट भारत मिशन एंड दैट्स हाउ आई स्टार्टेड contributing.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's a great story of, that gives me a boost actually. I would be very honest. That gives me a boost and inspiration that this is my first ever episode where I have to ask questions. I have to be conscious about, what I put the thought into somebody's head so that they can bring the most value to the table.
Right.
And it also gives me an inspiration that जो पहली बार का होता है ना, वो दिमाग में अगर पहली बार का नहीं होगा, ऐसे रख के चलोगे आगे, then probably somebody telling you that आपका ये अच्छा नहीं होगा would actually get wrong, and you would be then right in the very purest way, just like
Absolutely.
your doctors told you that नहीं हो पाएगा, but then you took it in a positive way that
Right.
ठीक है मैं कर पाऊंगी तो कर लूंगी, and then it became like a purest form. So yeah, I mean in your life if you feel that किसी ने आपको बोल दिया कि ये possible ही नहीं है in the facts, then probably it's okay, you try, you give your shot. So based on that, so I believe that one particular thing from your childhood days or your past is giving you that boost, and I want to understand that, is that the only thing which makes a person successful, or are there a lot of parameters? Like you said that you went on tracking, you went on traveling different countries, which a lot of men cannot do based on
Right.
their health and all. So what was that one single spark, as a woman, which made you what you are today as Shivangi Desai, and what is making you, giving even more boost that I can make this spread to more and more women as well, more and
Right.
more people as well around the globe? What is that one thing which makes people successful in this 2023 world, I would say?
Beautiful question. So, Pratik, for me, success has always been health. I even teach that in my sessions, that success is equal to health. But that's the first stage. Whenever, even if you can afford a world tour, but if you have a knee replacement, you are not going to enjoy your world tour. So, be it anything, be it earning a lot of money or enjoying your success or having amazing businesses, having great relationships, nothing is going to work if your health is not at par. So, success is health. But if you ask me in a broader sense, for me, success is equal to holistic richness.
Okay.
Now, holistic richness, what does it mean? It means we are after money. We all want to work hard and we want to provide really good life to our families and to ourselves. But just money is not going to do the trick. We also want to be fulfilled. And what makes you fulfilled is not just money. Money is extremely important. But along with that, we want to be rich in finance. We want to be rich in relationships. We want to be rich in our career, in our work. We want to be rich in spirituality or connection to higher self, in contribution. And we also want to be rich mentally and emotionally. We want to have the mental stability. We want to be peaceful. We don't want to live a life where we have empty victory.
Yeah.
So what is empty victory? It's like you have a lot of money, but you are still worse than who you were.
Yeah.
That money is making you feel stressed, anxious. You are probably not having good relationships with your own wife, husband, parents, kids, grandparents, just because you have money. That's empty victory. And when you win an award, you go home, there's no one to celebrate with you. What are you going to do with that award? So for me, it's holistic richness. And I want to empower not just women, but even men. Everyone deserves to be rich holistically, and I just want to make sure that through my sessions, through meeting, even right now we are doing this interview, and whoever is watching right now, I just want to make sure that if you are listening to this, you have to remember that you deserve every single thing that you are thinking right now in your head. You are meant for that, and he's watching you, and if you're not doing that, probably that is injustice to him.
I love that. I love those two words which she mentioned, like empty victory. I mean, it's so important to understand this thin line of difference, that don't just chase victory blindly, or else you might end up being empty victory guy or a girl. So make sure you're, victorious in your life, but make sure that is filled with some good things in your
Yes.
life and it doesn't remain like an empty victory. So maybe we can just, chop out a picture cut. Maybe the social media gang of Shivangi Desai can chop out a picture and then have empty victory. And then maybe there would be a caption in the Instagram saying what you should not chase for.
That's a good idea.
All right. So this also gives me the next question that let's say you are now going into health. You are telling yourself as a coach. I read your Instagram handle is Coach
Right.
Shivangi. You know.
Right.
So and in your couple of videos you mentioned a couple of difference between trainer, coach, या mentor. जो
Right.
भी ये जो fancy terms है in the teaching industry, I would say, tech industry. So what do you feel is important for a person? Because you said holistic richness होना चाहिए,
Right.
wealth होना चाहिए, health होना चाहिए. So ये सब चीजें सीखने के लिए भी किताबें होती है, videos होता है, podcast होता है.
Right.
You know, in this 2023 digital content consumption world where people are just busy consuming content, what do you think is important? Is a mentor important? Is a coach important? Is a course important? Is YouTube more than enough? What do you feel about that?
I think it's a mix of all. Or for any one of you, it could be just one thing. So we can't say that one thing, can suit everyone, or there is just one solution, one pill for every ill. That's what we say,
Yeah.
right? There is
Nice
no
one.
one pill for every ill. Similarly, there is no one fixed solution for all the problems. It's about what you like. It's about what connects with you. It's about what you need in a specific phase of your life. And it's about what you can do consistently. If somebody tells you that, you have to make sure that you read books, but let's say you don't like reading, maybe you like watching, maybe you like listening, then maybe audio books are for you. Maybe if you like watching, videos are for you. So find what you like doing and just be consistent in that. I think the number one challenge is consistency. And the reason there is no consistency, I'm a health coach, so I know that people are not able to, they want to lose weight, but they are not able to be consistent with those habits. The main reason is they go on a crash diet and then they lose weight and again they gain it back, maybe double than what they lost. That's because again they follow the wrong method. They just see somebody and they feel that if I do the same thing, I'm going to get the same result. That's the same analogy that works for every other aspect. Don't blindly follow other people. It's about really connecting with yourself, seeing what you like, following what you can do consistently, and then be true to that. I think
Awesome.
that's important.
And I completely agree with that because I see this in the digital space as well a lot of times, in the health as well. A lot of times in the health, people think that just because she or he is beautiful or handsome and things like that, I can also become that same thing. But without knowing that body type of themselves,
Yeah.
they don't even know that, okay, fine, मैं ये खाऊंगा ये खाऊंगी तो मेरे को ये असर करेगा या करेगी मेरे को
True.
मालूम नहीं है. मतलब if I do 30 push-ups right now, if I do headstand right now, then somebody can say that, okay, fine, I want to do that. But now it will depend upon कि वो अपनी strength कैसे बढ़ाए. Handstand कब होगा?
Right.
Somebody who has never done a headstand, by just looking at somebody doing a headstand, cannot do on the first attempt. So in the digital space as well, I'm sure you would agree that a lot of people, when they see that somebody has made $1 million, they think that, okay, fine, 3 दिन में मैं भी millionaire बनने वाला हूँ. You know? They forget the 30 years of life
Yes.
behind that person which they might have spent,
Absolutely.
So yeah, I mean, perfect. So health-wise, you say that it depends on the human being who is consuming that particular program or coach. So then how do you define the growth of a person? How do you then justify that somebody is successful with respect to their health? If let's say 3 people are coming to you, you being a health coach, and if somebody is coming to you and they say that I want to, let's say, lose weight. Second person says I want to lose weight, but I also want to start a health coaching business. Third person might say that, hey, I'm least interested in anything. I just want to know who you are, what you do, and I want to help you grow your more business. You know?
Right.
In all these 3 questions, you being a health coach who is now also focusing on wealth aspect,
Right.
how would you define the growth of all these 3 people when they're asking you as the same person who is Shivangi Desai?
So I think people who are watching me right now might be doing something. They might be pursuing your hobby or any kind of work that you are doing. I think there are 2 important things when we talk about growth. or when we talk about any sort of improvement in your life where you are either adding value to somebody else or adding value to your own life, number one is learning. I give a lot of priority to learning because no matter where you are, no matter how much success you have got, learning has to be a very vital part of your life, and that is something which is just non-negotiable. You have to invest in learning. I have invested over 20 lakh rupees just in health. I'm not talking about other things, the mind training and life coaching. I'm just talking about health. Now, the reason I invest every single year, or last month and last to last month, I visited, US, Canada, and South Africa. So last 2 months, I visited 3 countries. One of the reasons why I visited was I wanted to attend a few workshops. I attended Robin Sharma in Canada. My husband shared stage with him, Shivangi Desai. So basically, whenever there is growth, always remember that there is learning involved, or there is learning which is behind that. Whenever we say, whenever there is a successful woman, there is a woman behind. I think whenever there is growth, there is learning behind it. Learning always comes before earning. So I think number one is learning. And then the second thing is branding. I think that's extremely important, because whenever, let's say, you have a coffee, 20 rupees of coffee, but you go to a Starbucks and you buy 200 rupees of coffee, 300 rupees of coffee. Now, why so much of change? Now, they don't put some magical ingredients inside. It's just coffee. Maybe the quality is, of course, different, but people pay 200 or 300 or 10 times more because there is Starbucks logo, or there is the feeling. So they don't go there to have coffee. They go there because they want to feel the Starbucks feeling. Yeah. Similarly, we have to see that, what is your value? How much do you value yourself? Whenever somebody comes to me, you said that, somebody comes to you to lose weight as a health coach, as a wealth coach, somebody comes to you. How do you deal? I think I always remember one phrase, and that is, your business grows as much as you grow. So personal growth, that's what we need to focus on, and that's where learning and branding comes in. You improve your branding, you are the brand, right? Your service or your product is not the brand, you are the brand. And the more you work on yourself, I think the more your business is going to grow.
Awesome. Hey guys, sorry for this intentional interruption in this podcast. Just want to let you know that history is going to be created in Surat in the month of December 2022. You're going to witness all these speakers who are there on the screen at this Growth Summit India 2022. Don't miss out. Check out the link in the description box and register your seat now. All right, so Shivangi, now that we have talked about success, we have talked about growth, I want to talk about businesses. Like, in today's digital culture, where the startup world is so much into heads of people, and as soon as they hear startup, they think of raising money. While what I assume, and what I probably know as well deep in my heart, that you have probably never raised money in startup ways. But still, you have built yourself 3 different businesses. Your husband, Sneh, he's dealing with 11 different businesses. Right. And you probably, as the book says, changing people's life, So talk to me about businesses. If somebody who is, let's say, a 17-year-old kid, probably about to enter college and thinking of starting a business online, anything, what would you recommend them? I won't ask you top 3 things or top 5 things. I would say what you would say to that person who is wanting to start their business at the age of 17, or maybe thinking that when I would become 27, I want to quit my full-time job in 10 years and then want to do business. So in those 2 aspects, what would be your business advice? So
it's going to be only 2 things, and it's very simple. First of all, we have to believe that, इस धरती पे जितने लोग लेट आते हैं, उतना अपग्रेड होके आते हैं. Right? So if I am, let's say somebody is 30, and if you are 17, you are smarter than the person who's 30-year-old, right? So similarly, the newer generation that is coming, the smarter generation it's going to be. And this is a rule. Like, if you have an iPhone right now, iPhone 13 is more powerful or better or upgraded than iPhone 12. Similarly, the next iPhone is going to be much better. So now when we talk about you starting up or doing something of your own, we have to first believe in ourselves that you know something that probably somebody else is not going to believe, or are going to say negative things about it because they have never seen it, So now the 2 things come, and that is number 1, get rid of toxic people from your life. And every one of you is going to have a bunch of such toxic people who are going to bring you down, or who are going to tell you negative things, who are going to tell you that you are good for nothing, or whatever new idea you are suggesting, it is dash. But basically, you are going to find those people.
Can I frame the word?
I'm sure they got it.
I'll be a decent digital Pratik today.
So, I'm sure Pratik, आपको भी ऐसा अनुभव हुआ होगा जहाँ पर you would have encountered a lot of such negative people. But it's very important that we need to detach ourselves from that, and we need to detach from such toxic people who are not adding any value to your life. Now, you might be wondering that, such toxic peoples, I have that, not just one, but a lot of them at my own home. What to do? I'm not talking about leaving your house. I'm talking about mentally detaching yourself, right?
Yes.
Not getting affected with what they are saying or doing with you, but you have to believe in your own self, and you have to believe in what you want to do. So number one is get rid of toxic people. And then comes number two, and that is be surrounded by people who uplift you, be surrounded by people who are better than you.
Yes.
Our human nature is such that we have ego. And ego always wants that, it wants to be the best. It wants to be the best in the room. It wants to be the best in any area that they go in. But I would say the reverse. Try to find people who are much better than who you are and what you are doing. And when you are surrounded by such people, we say that, you are an average of five people around you. I'm sure when you find people who are going to give you such amazing learning or teachings or lessons, or maybe just being around them is going to give you an environment to grow, then that's all you need. So be away from toxic people and find people who can uplift you, just like I have Pratik here, Find people like Pratik, find people who are giving you motivation and who are able to understand what you are seeing and others are not seeing.
Now that she has mentioned digital Pratik, I'm going to be in my own zone and I'm going to erase that decent word from digital Pratik. I want to fill in that fill in that blank, So probably if we are in the post-production, we'll reverse that to that part where I said, okay, fine, can I fill in that?
People,
can I
I'm
fill in the
sure.
word? And now I'm filling that. Fucking bullshit people. just remove those fucking bullshit people from your life. But now, on a very serious note, when you talked about and mentioned about that, on personal level, what if people like them are in your family? You cannot just leave your house like that. And I always quote this. I myself have gone through that journey where, being a dropout, Kathiawadi Gujju boy, not having money, and then being a good student in 12th science, when you score good in science, 12th science, and you take a drop, everybody would then think that if you are taking a college drop, you are either in girls or drugs.
Nice.
Now in that kind of situation, like I'm talking about 2010,
Right.
Those are thus job engineering jobs were the only thing for careers. At that point in time, if your family says Kathiawadi, when you go to your village, I come from Kesho, Junagadh, so in that kind of village, when you sit in that khatla as well, and you talk to your grandfather or maybe dadi, mummy, papa, and they will say, Anu kahin nahi tha abhi. He is lost. He's lost in his life. He cannot do anything. In that kind of scenario, what she said is, it's better to, what she meant was, I call this, that it is better to ignore somebody sweetly versus insulting somebody. So
True.
if there are people like those in your family, it's okay. सुन लो यार, वो टाइम पे सुनना ज़रूरी भी है आपके ग्रोथ के लिए, आपकी ज़िंदगी के लिए. And in that scenario, if you are trying to build a business, maybe if they are telling you to do business, no business, job, no business, जो भी बोल रहे थोड़ा सा कर लो. But side में जब वो नहीं देख रहे हैं, that point in time probably you can just step up. So I also, exactly did that same thing. I did my call center jobs. I did 8 years of full-time job, but I never missed out a single day where I wouldn't have done anything at night which was productive to build what I'm trying to build right now, which is digital Prati ho, Jhor Parivar ho, kuch bhi ho. So that completely, like, ignore people in your life, that is completely alright, but make sure you're not insulting them, because in the end of the day, when it comes to your family, you'll always love them. You won't, like, कि हाँ मेरे को इनके साथ रहना ही नहीं है. That would be like in the moment you would say that इनके साथ रहना ही नहीं है, पापा समझ ही नहीं रहे, मम्मी समझ ही नहीं रही है, my friends are not understanding. But that's a rightly said point. So number one, remove fucking bullshit people from your life, but in a nice way, so please make sure that you do that part. And now that you're talking about business, so she is involved into health and fitness business, where she's undertaking this training program, training coaches to build better coaching programs. She is also into supplement business, where she has good supplements. She is into the third business, healthy sweets, healthy laddus. So all these kind of things, where she has not even raised money and build businesses, successful businesses, and now also taking part in changing people's life along with her husband. I want to ask you that as a couple, as a collective, two people, two great human beings, what is your vision for this 2023? And I have this strong feeling of understanding it in the next decade as well, of reversing 23 to 32 and 2032.
Right.
So what is your vision for 2023? What you're going to do in 2023, which might add up value to people in the next decade, and then become the greater vision of 2032?
Beautiful. So basically, when it comes to the next year, we just have one thing in our head, and that is exponential growth. Now, we are not talking about exponential growth just of our own, but we are talking about giving platform to coaches, to trainers, to entrepreneurs, to business owners, to people who really want to grow their business or career or work or whatever they are doing to the next level. We want to give them platform, and we want to give some amazing opportunities to them, so that they create holistic richness and they create financial independence in their life, be it men, be it women, all of them. So in order to do that, we have decided, in fact, Sneh, who's my guru first and then he's my husband, I've learned so much from him. I attended him as a student in 2010. So I am a student first and then I'm his wife. So I whatever I'm doing right now, he has guided me, and that's what I've been doing, and I'm getting success only because of his, everything that he has shared with me. So now he taught me one very beautiful thing, and that is, Shivangi, you have to come out of your comfort zone. I was always shy, I told you, and I was always in my comfort zone, and I can resonate with a lot of you who would be thinking that, kya farak padta hai, baad mein kar lenge, But 2023, we want to ensure that ye baad mein na ho aapka. Aisa na ho ki 2024 में अब कर लेंगे. We want to make sure that 2023 becomes the year of growth and the year where you can say this was a turning point. So that's what our mission is. That's what we want to help. We have a platform called Life Gurukul, where we want to give all the coaches and trainers opportunity to maybe have their own courses and reach out to masses. So growth is the number one priority. And when you're talking about a decade from now, that's 2032, I think it's just, something where I can't even explain what is the vision. But it's about, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I can see it so much here, so clearly. But if I want to give you in one sentence, how do I see 2032 and what is the vision? The vision is Amazon of training industry. So that's like, we always believe that business is seva, right? And the more you grow your business, the more you're doing service of others, and we just want to ensure that we reach our maximum potential by that time. And I'm sure it's going to happen with people like Pratik and people like some amazing personalities who are connecting with us. I'm sure it's going to happen.
Awesome. And probably in the early beginning of this podcast, when she mentioned that how much learning is important, and I was just thinking when she said that she was a student first to Sneh and then his wife. So सीखो, learning इतना सीखो कि जिसको आप पसंद कर रहे हो ना वो आपका जीवन साथी बन जाए.
That's
So
so
she
true.
she was so focused in learning that she ended up being a wife of the person whom she was getting learned from.
A lot of people don't know that when I attended him, his right now it's Change Your Life program. It's called that workshop, but earlier it was Mind Power workshop. So when I attended him, he taught a technique called visualization. I'm sure a lot of you know about it, visualization. So I learned that technique from him, and I used to visualize that my life partner would be somewhat like him. I didn't see that he's going to be my life
She's
partner.
lying.
No, it was like he's out of my reach, so I'm never going to get married
That's
to
where
him.
the visualization works even more. अब तो ये चाहिए मेरे को.
True.
No, but nice. So based on this, like you going and attending events of Sneh, and then becoming the wife, you growing in your life in that way, helping from learning. So I've heard that you are also coming up with your own growth summit, which is probably India's most,
Yes.
one of the biggest and most historic events of 2022, which is happening in December. So talk to me more about that growth summit. What is that?
Wow, I mean, that summit, I'm so excited for that because that's a dream come true for me and Sneh both. Because we have been traveling, Sneh has traveled to, I think, over 25, 26 countries in the world, and I've traveled to over 15, 16 countries. When we are talking about learning, we attended so many different speakers, including Tony Robbins, including all the who's that we know in the training industry. We met Brian Tracy in the US at his house. We met Robin Sharma. We met, who else did we meet? Deepak Chopra.
She and Sneh, they have met so many people that they almost forget people that इनको भी मिले थे, शायद मिले थे.
Yeah, so basically we met Deepak Chopra and
The guy behind the camera is also laughing that ये लोग कितने लोगों को मिल रहे हैं.
Yeah. Absolutely, and especially last 2 months have been really crazy. So when we met such people, we realized that when we are going out, everybody cannot afford to spend so much to go out of India and attend different courses and meet such people. But they want to learn. We know that India deserves a lot. And so we want to make sure that rather than going out of India and attending such international speakers, why not bring them here in our own country and help our people, our country to grow. So that was the vision, that we want to bring the international speakers and authors and coaches to India, and we want to give this opportunity to all the Indians to attend them, not virtually, but physically. Especially after COVID, it's a different experience. So Growth Summit India we are doing this year in December 9, 10, 11, and that's going to be in Surat, Gujarat. So now the reason...
Surti Lala.
Yeah. So now in this Growth Summit, some amazing people are going to join, and that's again, as I said, it's a dream come true. Deepak Chopra, who's a best-selling author who has written 90 plus books. He is a coach to Tony Robbins, Angelina Jolie. He's a friend he was a friend with Michael Jackson. He's done a lot of programs with Oprah Winfrey. I'm sure a lot of you know about him. We are bringing him physically to the Growth Summit India live to Surat, Gujarat, and we are really, really excited because he's going to share some amazing secrets of abundance, wealth, prosperity, health, spirituality, everything. And it's going to be in a stadium, yes, so 5,000 people are going to be there, and it's going to be a euphoria. It's going to be a different kind of experience where like-minded people are going to get together. There will be influencers. There will be people who will be, maybe the top shots, the, business owners, entrepreneurs. So all the people who can help us grow in our life, they are going to be there. Along with that, we have also Sunil Shetty, who's the actor and producer. He's also the, hotelier.
I admire him as an entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
I have always been a fan of his. I even replied to one of his, posts on LinkedIn. The day he came on LinkedIn, I just said that on that post or some else post where Sunil Shetty was already commenting. I said that since the day you were flaunting your traps in Mohara till today,
right,
you have been now flaunting this entrepreneurship. The
right,
way you have taken your journey is commendable. It's inspiring. for a lot of people, especially when you are into fitness as well. You know, I being a calisthenic practitioner, I see him as that particular guy.
Right.
And then he into business, a hotelier, a stylish guy who used to wear those jeans as well at that point in time, you know, 90s ke picture dekh lo aap log. And so he has been a great personality. So yeah, he is also coming at Growth Summit.
Yes,
So it's a
yes.
it's a great opportunity.
And he's coming not just as an actor, he's coming as a coach. So he's going to share some amazing secrets that he normally doesn't share. And he's going to share how you can grow wealth, money, you can grow your career, and personally you can grow in your life. That's what he's going to share. And also we have Gaur Gopal Das ji, who's a spiritual and motivational guru, best-selling author again, and he's going to share his secrets of success, secrets of mental peace, health, spirituality, you know, everything basically. It's going to be a 360-degree personal growth event. Anybody who wants to grow in their life, the event is going to be for them.
Also, Shivangi, you talked about you know, Deepak Chopra, Sunil Shetty, everybody is coming over here, and it's all about growth, and that's where it is Growth Summit for people. But give us maybe, you know, now I'll go into the numbers, top 3 reasons or benefits, or you know, how this can help in 3 different ways to all the different people of walks of life, because somebody might be a businessman, somebody who is a student might want to grow in his or her life. So
Right.
various different walks of life, people are coming from that. How this can help, and why should they attend Growth Summit?
I think that's really important question, because people who are watching right now, we need to realize that number one, when we shared that, you know, it's important to be away from toxic people and be surrounded by the right kind of people who can uplift you. I think this is the best opportunity that we can get, and I'm going to be there personally attending the whole session, the whole summit. And the reason is simple, that 5,000 people in a stadium, imagine, you know, the kind of energy that's going to be there, the kind of celebrities who are going to be there. And you know, there are going to be some massive turning points, massive lessons that we are going to learn. So number one is that you are going to be in touch with so many people who can help you. That is for sure. Even if you are a student, you are doing a job, you are into business, you are an entrepreneur, or you are starting something of your own, you need support, you need resources, you need the contacts, you need the right kind of people who can maybe guide you, mentor you, or support you in any other way. So number one, you're going to meet the right people, not just the celebrities, but as I said, you know, because it's in Surat, the Diamond Kings of Surat are going to be there, entrepreneurs and the top influencers are going to be there. Number two is, even if you take one learning out of these many hours of, you know, session, even if you just take one learning out of that, I think it can transform your whole finance career or anything that you want to achieve in your life totally, because it's not about, you know, 10 things that's going to help you. It's just one idea, one thing, one practical tip.
It might just click.
Yeah, it can click like that, right? So these are like top 2 things which I feel that can help you, you know, decide whether you should join. And I feel that, you know, on top of everything, always remember that whenever he is bringing something, see, I never believe in coincidence. I always believe that everything has a reason. And the reason you are watching this interview, that too till the last question, if you're watching that, there is a reason behind that. It didn't happen just by chance, by fluke. So if probably nature is giving an opportunity for you to grow and to do something that you've been trying to do since a long time, this could be it, right? So make sure that you join it. You know, the whole summit is going to be massive, and that's going to be the biggest and one of the historic events that we have ever seen.
Awesome, awesome. And I call this as a lucky moment for every human being's life, because I feel that only 0.00001% are born lucky, but rest of the world becomes lucky based on the work they do. And luck is just a good accident in the highway of you doing work. So maybe while you are doing work, if you attend this Growth Summit event, and if you are just in that mood, maybe you might be lucky, maybe that one thing might click, and it might be a turning point for your growth in life, and that can probably change your life too.
Absolutely. And when I'm saying this, there is one more thing which is very important for everyone to know. It's not just that when you are coming to Growth Summit, you will get a chance to just attend the session. You also get an opportunity to meet, personally have dinner and lunch with Deepak Chopra or Gaur Gopal Das ji or Sunil Shetty. We are giving that opportunity to few selected people, and of course you can go to the link and find out the details.
It's going to change your life. It's going to have growth in your life. It's going to be a growth summit you don't want to miss. All the details probably will just share the link and everywhere. But yeah, Shivangi, it was an honor to have you on my first ever episode where I am interviewing somebody. So this would always be, I call it in my language, a jordar moment for me, a jordar, memory for me moving towards. I don't know what I'll be doing in 2032, but definitely a productive thing in 2032. So I'll cherish this 2022 moment. हाँ, 10 साल पहले शायद मैंने किसी को interview किया था, and that's how the journey of me trying to become a good host started. So thank you so much for being